to strategies for business success, and we that someone must have if they're going to be doing business. If they're in business, they must have some core competencies, and those core competencies must be that which adds value. And so what we have been doing, we have been going through those. And so when we left with the self-management competency, the one of self-confidence, if have faith in your own ideas and your capability to be successful, and your willingness to take an independent position in the face of opposition. You must be confident in your own ability and so forth, and you must have a can-do attitude. And then we also have stress management. As we said, very often you have to make hard decisions. And when you have to make hard decisions, what it does, it can increase your stress level. Because even you, the person who are normally in the position of feeding out ideas, correction, can be placed in a position where you are questioning the veracity of that which is before you, even though you have a certain self-confidence. And so this is the ability to keep functioning effectively, the ability to continue to function effectively, not getting distracted when under pressure, and to maintain self-control. That they say, you when you're not comfortable about something, take a deep breath, breathe out slowly, say maintain self-control in the face of often hostility, sometimes even provocation. Here we are asking you to do something that's not very easy. We're asking you to remain calm under stress. We're asking you to effectively handle several problems or tasks at the same time. We're asking you to make sure you develop that competence to control your response when you're criticized, when you're attacked, or even if you're provoked. What we are asking you to do is to maintain that ability to manage stressful situation. We're asking you to maintain a sense of humor. People telling you and doing the worst things, and you here under difficult circumstances, and I'm asking you to keep a poker face, looking straight at the situation, maintain a sense of humor, think on something good that you saw at a time when, like this, think on something good. Manage your own behavior to prevent or reduce feelings of stress. We can be, I sent out something to my friend and my children today that said, managing that a lot that happens to you is your attitude. And so what we're saying, that one has to manage your own behavior or reduce your feelings of stress. Ivor, welcome. Personal credibility. Now, this is a competence that you must make sure you have, because I can assure you, as science would say, no, or is it the other partner in this square there? But one of those in the University of the Charleston Square says, I can assure you. So you must have personal credibility, demonstrated concern that one can be perceived as responsible. People can perceive you as being reliable. People can look at you and say you're trustworthy. That's personal credibility. Personal credibility goes to the heart of that particular thing. How responsible you are, how reliable you are, and how trustworthy you are. It means that you deliver. And you do what you commit to doing. Personal credibility would wane if you do not do what you say you're going to do. If you decide to give people explanations instead of solutions, your personal credibility would be affected. And if you are someone who does not respect the confidentiality of information or concerns shared by people to you, your personal credibility would be in danger. It means that if someone come to you, my good friend Charles Busso, well, more than my friend, my family, he always said to me, no, Daniel, the little birdie, continue to listen to what the little birdie is saying. Continue to listen to the little birdie. Not so quick. You don't just go. So you must respect the confidentiality of information or concerns shared by others. When people give you important information, I know there are persons in authority and have been in authority who they don't handle information well. And I don't like that. And so I cannot share anything with them. I would not even think of disclosing my very, very best advice to them, because I don't trust their personal credibility in terms of their confidentiality with information, so that they would do that. So it is honest. You must be for your personal credibility to be sharpened like a razor, Peter Tosh style. You must be honest and forthright with people. People may not like you for the truth, but the truth is an offense but not a sin. You have to deal with truth. Let it be. You must be honest and forthright with people. That pain would last for a small, short period of time. But if you were dishonest, that would live in your bones, because you would remember you did not tell the truth to someone and it could have caused their death or destruction. You must make sure that you carry your fair share of the workload. You can't put people to do things and you just use them as human shields or use them as pawns or puppets. You must carry your fair share of the workload. You must take responsibility for your own mistakes. Don't blame others. Don't blame other people, because it's one thing. Success has many fathers. When you see things look good, everybody wants to say, I was a part of that. But when even the same person who led the charge comes and is confronted with the fact that, there's a big mistake here. A matter of fact, that ain't a mistake. That's a beef steak. That's a very big steak. You do not use this opportunity to blame others. Take responsibility. That core competence of personal credibility allows you to do that, because none of us is perfect. And let he who is without fault cast the first stone. And you must be able to convey a command of the relevant facts and information. Your personal credibility allows you to convey and to command, the relay of the relevant facts and information to people, be that as it may. The last core competence of the 31 is flexibility. If you're inflexible, you will break. Anything that's not flexible will break. But flexibility in the sense of your core competences to do business means that you're open to different and new ways of doing things. Flexibility in dealing in business means that you're open to different and new ways of doing things, and that you're willing to modify your preferred way of doing something to another way that may not have come from you, but may have come from someone who you consider lesser than you. And your flexibility also should take you to a place. Valerie Stapleton, David, good night to you. You should be able to see the merits of different perspectives other than your own. You must be able to see the perspectives of other people other than your own. And you must demonstrate that openness to new organizational structures and procedures and even technology. You must demonstrate an openness to organizational structures, procedures, and technology that you have not seen before, because this is a changing world. And you have different levels of industrialization. I think we are industrialization 4.0 right now, where we have AI and all of those things. You must be able to switch to a different strategy when an initially selected one is unsuccessful. If it's not successful, why continue going down that road? Switch to a different strategy when an initially selected one is unsuccessful. And you must demonstrate a willingness to modify a position that you held strong in the face of contrary evidence. If the evidence is overwhelming, why argue? This is an evidence-based world. People are looking at the figures. People are looking at the polls. People are looking with the responses that they have gotten from human bodies with blood in their veins, asking them the questions. If it's looking you in the face, it's contrary evidence. So you should be willing to modify your strong held position. And so what we're saying is that we took the liberty some 3 weeks ago and now tonight to take you to core competencies, 31 core competencies, as presented in the Value Added Employee book by Edward Kripe and Richard S. Mansfield. It was copyrighted in 2002 by Butterworth and Heinemann. And what we did is that we have been blessed to have read the book and to have seen the different aspects, and especially the 31 core competencies, the first 15 of which dealt with just dealing with people. And then this evening, we took the opportunity to take you through how to deal with the business. So not just individuals, but how to deal with your business to make sure that you either provide yourself with an opportunity through training, exposure, learning, discipline, whatever you have to do, to be able to get to that place. Mr. Clark, good evening. And make sure you educate yourself so that for you to be a value-added person, wherever you work, you must make sure that all of those things that we were speaking about, whether it's your flexibility or your personal credibility or your ability to manage stress or your self-confidence, which we call the self-management competencies. When you can do those things, we are saying that it is a good thing. It is important. We went on, we said that there's some other things that are results-based. We said that, they had such as your decisiveness, your ability to make difficult decisions. We spoke about your thoroughness, that's ensuring that your own and other work information is complete and accurate in your preparations and your delivery. We said for good results, you must be able to have the ability to focus on your result of your own work unit, but you must set the challenging goals and focus on making sure you get the results into our exceeding them. We spoke again about fostering innovation. We said it's important to have the ability to develop, to sponsor, or support the introduction of a new and improved method or product, or even procedures, or even a new technology. But whatever it is, you must make sure that you foster innovation. You allow yourself to get into that new comfort zone of learning and upgrading your capacity to become your best self. We say that you must have an entrepreneurial orientation, and I spoke about one of the young people in Nevis whom I admire, who has that place opposite Malcolm Gishard place there, who just, he has the ability to look and seize profitable business opportunities, and he's willing to take calculated risk. And we're saying that, I mean, you know, to some small measure, I consider myself one of such persons. And so also we must look at our people to use your initiative. That is something. Or utilizing technical expertise, which is the ability to demonstrate the depth of knowledge and skill in a technical area. We say that is important. We mean that these are competencies. We say the competence of strategic thinking is the ability to analyze the organization's competitive position, looking at what's around you and making your strategic moves to stay in front if you're in front. Don't lose any ground. We spoke about being able to be forward thinking. We say the ability to anticipate the implications and the consequences of situations and take appropriate actions, to be prepared for contingencies, things that you didn't see coming, but you adjusted. And we say then you do analytical thinking. Yes, analytical thinking. We say that you should make sure that with all of this, we started by telling you that this problem solving and prevention cluster, you must be able to have diagnostic information gathering. You must have information. You must make sure that you have the ability to identify the information that you need to clarify a situation, and you seek that information from your appropriate sources, and you use skills and competencies to get that done. Those were the main things we spoke to you about this evening. And so, having taken Mr. Kripe and Mansfield's book, I now speak to you. The application of all that we have said. Because you see, I spoke to you about your thoroughness, and I spoke to you about all of the good things that you do. And unless you put these competencies together and make them work for you, you will be just another empty vessel. Speaking. You must be able to turn words into actions, and actions into, whether it is profit, riches, or wealth, whatever. But make sure transformation of people's lives. And so that's what we say here as Strategies for Business Success, Here at Strategies for Business Success, we have said to you before that on this side of the program, we take our time to thank all of you who faithfully follow us. And we always remind you that you should make sure you always have a short pencil, because as Tishan said, and I have heard from Mr. Victor Obadiah Williams of pleasant memory, that the shortest note is better than the longest memory. And so it is important when you come to this point of advocacy that you make sure you keep some copious notes so that you can refer to that. It might be a word, it must be a sequence of words, and you want to be able to take it forward. I know you are very busy on a Tuesday, and I come here because I do not wish that when my time has come and I transition, that a lot of the things that I knew of the experiences and opportunities that I've gotten, because I've been fortunate. I didn't come from a family with a lot of cash wealth, but I've always said that my family may have had a cash flow problem, but partner, we had a lot of food. 14 acres over at Camp Spring. We used to sell bananas by the truckload. So I can tell you that, I never believed that poverty is something to do. That's a cash flow problem. People have a cash flow problem and they equate that to poverty. But that's not poverty. Poverty is when you lack the ability to, one, think and not be told. When you lack the ability to think and just be told by other people, this is how it is. When you listen and then you go and say, I get it on good authority. No. I believe that you should take this thing, analyze it, and look and then make sure that it makes sense. What we say here at Strategies for Business Success is that the information that we provide you with is to help you build your capacity, to help you build your confidence, to help you to build your skill set so that you can improve yourself on the first iteration, to improve your family and your business on the next iteration, to improve your community on the next iteration, to improve your contribution to your country. I do not believe in telling people to do things that I do not do. So I believe in leadership by example. And so I am in my lab now that I've retired, which is my farm. And I've been a pioneer in that area and will continue to do things that would impact, I hope, food security and positively impact my contribution to national development by sharing the tools and techniques that I've been exposed to, with the fortune that I've had to get to go to school in North and South America, the Asian continent, and to make sure that I've come and worked globally with very important people who have shared skills with me, and to be an advocate. I've said to you that my commitment in the national sphere is to make sure that our people see that mendicancy is not an option, that by dint of hard work, focused attention, doing things the best way you can, your best abilities, that's what I think. I've said to you, we have seen in Nevis the context that when we have proven and productive pathway, when we work together, just like Danny Walwyn and the Nevis Cooperative Bank, I'm like a stock record, but I'll be like that. I want it to go in. It's repetition and reinforcement is the process of education. Ingle Blackett and the Credit Union, Simeon Daniel and the Bank of Nevis, Jones and Sibridge, Rawl and those people at iConnect, and many other persons and so forth. I am saying to you, we need to make sure that we put ourselves in this place, that our people, those creative Nevisians who at one point in time were self-sufficient in a lot of what we eat, and we had artisans, we had tailors, we had carpenters, we had everything homegrown. We were a proud people. We continue to be resilient. I'm asking you to stay in that and try to develop those competencies based at least on some of those that I shared with you this evening. I am saying I wish to thank each and every one of you for taking the time. Those of you who I was able to individually greet, and those of you who are listening who I greet when I get a chance to, I want to thank you for taking the time to come to this particular place on a Tuesday evening and join with me for 1 hour and 30 minutes when I share, like I've said to you, the few thoughts from my perspective on this program, Strategies for Business Success, until I come next week when I hope to have another entrepreneur showcase. I want to thank each and every one of you. Share with the persons this program by just sharing it. Nowadays, the media allows you to share it through WhatsApp, through any of the other forms, so that persons can be educated, if for nothing else, on the competencies to become a value-added person. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to being with you, God's willing, next week.